Hey guys, welcome back to my channel. Today's video is going to be about if I could meet any author, any of my favorite authors, who would it be? And these are going to be a few of them because I have a couple different favorite authors. So this is going to be my top 5, I believe. So let's get into it. So for those of you that know, my favorite book series of all time is Maximum Ride. So I named my dog after one of the characters. So obviously my first choice is going to be James Patterson. He has just written so many books, like so many books. I can't even count how many he has written. It's actually insane. I know he's been in the business for quite some time, so he's got, a few things under his belt. Honestly, I don't know what I would do if I met him in person. I'd probably just freak out, as I would do with any of these authors I'm going to talk about. Yeah, he wrote my favorite series of all time, Maximum Ride. I'd probably ask, how do you have so much time to write all these? I know he obviously doesn't write every single one of his books. I know he does have some ghostwriters, but how do you have time to write all these? How do you keep track of them all is obviously a big question for me, is how do you keep track of the different stories that you have going on if you're publishing more than one at one time. But yeah, he'd probably be my top author to meet of all time. Another one of my favorite authors is obviously Stephanie Garber. She wrote the Caraval series and Once Upon a Broken Heart series, and those are just literally amazing. I cannot say a single bad thing about those series, so I'd obviously want to meet her. And just talk about the series, the characters, how she came up with the idea for Caraval, and then the spin-off with just one of the characters in there. It's just, again, how do you keep track of these two series? How do you keep them, separated? And also, how do you keep them connected at the same time? Because one of the main characters is, he is the main focus of the Once Upon a Broken Heart series. Just, being able to keep them both separate and connected at the same time will be, one of my top questions I would ask Stephanie Garber. So, and also if she is writing anything else, with the Caraval series, if that's gonna be, continuing, which it kind of ended really nicely. I like the way that it ended, but if there's gonna be any more spin-offs with Donatella and everybody. But yeah, she would also be on my list too, if I could ever meet any author. Another author I would love to meet is Rebecca Yarros. She wrote Fourth Wing and Iron Flame and the Empyrean series. I think it's just the 2 right now, but I believe I saw that she said that she's gonna be writing at least 5 for this series, which is absolutely insane. I have not read either of these 2 books yet, so please no spoilers until that review comes out. Then you will know that I read it. But anyway, so I've seen a lot of stuff about this series, a lot of good things, so it is on my list. This will probably be a fall read for me, just from what I have heard about it and seen about it and stuff. But one of my top questions for her would be is when Iron Flame came out, why it came out how it did. I just want to know. I just want to talk. I understand that she didn't want the stenciled sprayed edges because then it would push back the release date, and that's fine. But most of these copies that came out with the sprayed edges, when it first came out, are printed incorrectly. I know there's 15 different things wrong with it, but I know at least my copy has no dragon for chapter 17, which thank goodness that is the only thing wrong with my copy so far that I've seen. But other people have had duplicate pages, 100 extra pages of the same thing that they just read, or it's printed upside down, or a bunch of different things went wrong with this release, and I don't know why, and that is probably the top thing I would ask her. And of course, another author I would love to meet in person is Sarah J. Maas. She would have the same question as, a couple of the other authors I mentioned, is how do you keep everything organized? Because she herself has at least 3 series going on right now. She's got ACOTAR, Crescent City, and she has Throne of Glass. And Throne of Glass, I believe, is done. I don't think she's going to do anything else with that, but Crescent City and ACOTAR are both still ongoing, and they are two completely different series. So how do you keep yourself organized, first of all? And then also, like, how do you come up with these worlds, you know? Like, I think she wrote Throne of Glass when she was like 16, and you can really tell by the writing. I believe I've said that before, but you can really tell from the writing how young she was when the series started, and then like you can see like how her writing like progresses and gets better overall, and literally the last book made this series one of my favorite series, even though it was really hard for me to get through it just because it was kind of hard for me to read. It's very, very YA for anybody who is looking to start this series. It is very, very YA, so keep that in mind. You know, it was really good, but you can just tell that she was like very young when she started the series. But anyway, she was also writing ACOTAR at the same time. Like, I think about halfway through Throne of Glass, she started writing ACOTAR, and ACOTAR is written so much differently than Throne of Glass is written. So I just want to talk. I just want to know like how you keep yourself organized with those two series going on at the same time, with Crescent City and ACOTAR going on at the same time because they're both like ongoing still. The last author I would love to meet in person is Cassandra Clare. She wrote the Mortal Instruments series. I read this series in high school, and I remember this series specifically because I read, I think, the third one on the bus to an archery meet. And I just could not put it down. I literally was so zoned into this book. I just love this series, and I think this one was turned into a movie. The movie wasn't so great, and then it turned into a show, and that one was even worse, and it was just, oh my gosh, the books were so much better. Highly recommend if you have not read them yet. They are so good. I think she has a couple other like spin-off, not like spin-off, but like different series. They have kind of similar covers on them, but she also wrote like Clockwork Angel series. But yeah, those are really good series as well if you guys have not read them. I would suggest them if you liked any of the other books I mentioned in this video, any of the other like series I mentioned in this video. They're all kind of like similar. They all have like a similar, you know, like fantasy aspects in them. But yeah, so she would be the last one I would love to meet in person. That'll bring us to the end of the video. Thank you guys so much for watching. If you have any suggestions for future videos, please let me know in the comments down below. Again, thank you so much for watching, and I'll see you in the next one. Bye!